And hi, everyone. I'm Steve Rhoads. I'm here with Zela Lobb and Dorothee Telson.
Hi.
We went to the last clay camp and we heard about this collaborative project. We met on the social networking between the workshops and discovered that we had an interest in doing it together. And so we decided to do that. And here is our project. So here's the three of us. So you can put faces to our names. One of the first things you have to do is you talk about your common interests. And it turns out that we all had a common interest in gardens and sculptures and things outside. And Zela suggested this Cadavre, this children's game where different people design different parts of a body and you put them together and it comes up with this incredible randomness for this unexpected outcomes as we have here. So the next piece of the brief asked us to show our proud pieces. And so on the left, we have Zela's proud piece. She'll talk about that when it comes to her turn. The one in the middle is mine for a green man, and the one on the right is Dorothee's. So as part of this process, we have to share our favorite piece. And so I just showed you a quick picture of those favorite pieces. Then we've got to talk about, what kinds of ideas do we have and come to an agreement on the design. And then once we've come to that agreement, each one of us is supposed to go off and do our interpretation of that agreed upon design. We also set up weekly meetings using Google Meet. And we talked over what we were struggling with, what we were doing well with, and helped each other continue to move along. And we also stayed on schedule, given that it's only 3 months. So I did an original design on the left. The middle one is Dorothee's and the right is Zela's. But these weren't our only ones. We iterated. And we started figuring out who would do which sections. And we finally chose these 3 sections. And so let's look at mine. Again, my piece here was a green man. It's a Celtic green man. But it's a wall piece. It hangs on a stone wall, as you can see. So when I started doing the collaborative design, the bottom piece was going to be this pedestal, and we put our shared word on there, put our names on there, or at least I put them on my interpretation. And then when I was building the block, I got a little concerned that the walls might collapse with the combined weight of all the various pieces on the top. So I put supporting structure underneath. When I was building the middle piece, we had decided we were going to make this pretty big. And we were going to make it like 1 meter high. And my first cylinder wasn't really tall enough, so I made a second cylinder and joined them together. And then Zela's diagram had these faces, 4 of them around the outside. I couldn't really figure out what the faces were, so I made 2 fish and 2 human faces. I was again worried about the weight, so I had made them hollow wherever I could. When I got to the top piece, I was joining the bird bath with the face, and we're going to be running this conduit up the middle. And so I put that little ring in there to catch the conduit pipe so that it would hold it all straight. Then I started adding the face, and then the Celtic green man, the branches and the leaves around it. When the pieces came together, I have the base, a bug bath underneath, the middle section with the faces, and then the top piece with the head and another bird bath on the top. The first firing destroyed that middle bug bath, and I had to remake it. When they eventually got fired and all done with the remade blue piece there, It's not quite as tall as the previous piece. And raw underglaze, but fired to cone 6. This is the outcome, and I am absolutely delighted. I don't think I ever would have done something quite like this, except for working on this project. I'm going to turn it over to Dorothee now.
Yes, hi. I made that pig. It's a piggy bank actually for our house concerts that we do. My husband is a musician, and it sits on a pedestal, and it has all this writing on it. It's a funny thing that's written on it, but wanted to kind of incorporate that into my piece to have it sit on a base that has the description of our project on it. And also, I like surface. I like to play with the different structures in the surface. So that kind of went into my interpretation of our common project. So here we go. It's this face part that Stephen had designed, and I started out with that, which in the end was a little bit of a mistake because it is too long for the rest of it, but it was too late to kind of adjust it, so I stuck with it, also thinking that it would be Stephen's part of our 3-part collaboration, and it didn't all have to be in sync design-wise with the rest of it. So that's where it's at. And here I was able to see exactly what I was fearing, that that part is way too long for the rest of it. But again, I had to stick with it because time was of issue, and the pieces are large. They all needed to be fired several times, and different loads because they don't all fit into the kiln. And they all had to line up. And here I'm showing how the center pole goes through all the pieces and how they kind of stack up together. Similar issue, I had to kind of put a support piece in the inside of the bottom to make sure that it doesn't collapse on itself. And I have okay, so here's one of the legs with the attachments on it. I had struggled with that because of humidity, of dryness, of heat, and all of that. The things that kind of get in our way as we work with clay. It started peeling off. I was able to attach it again. It was giving me a hell of a lot of problems, but in the end, it came out all right. Here's that piece that Zela had designed, and I was trying to be really close to what she drew up and still kind of continue with the leaves that go up and down with my whole totem pole up to the bird bath. Again, it is really dense in design and in things that are going on in there while the rest is not, but we are 3 people, and I'm okay with that. Here is the top section that I fired first with underglaze, and then after it came out of the cone 6 firing, and it gave me some indication as to what I wanted to tweak with the colors on the other parts. And here they are before they were getting fired, and emphasis here was also on the writing, on the inscription on the bottom, which is our theme on it, the phrase and our names and where we first met. The finished piece, ta-da! I'm okay with it. I liked the bold colors, and that was kind of where I was going. Reading Frida Kahlo's book, and all those bright Mexican colors were inspiring me here.
Hello, I'm Zela. This is my garden piece, Bird Path. Um, I newly have a garden. Well, thank you. So here's the building, the base and the top. I don't throw much, so I did it on all slab built. On the left, you see my drawing that I reinterpreted, and the top part and the middle part, which I find very interesting how we all interpreted it completely different. But I actually struggled on that piece as well. I found it structurally hard to do linear. And then this is the underglaze going on. Prior to that, I did a bit of oxides that I wiped away, and then 2-3 colors of underglaze. And that's the bisque, and that's how it turned out. I was happy. I guess I wiped away a lot more than I thought. I have a tendency to always get darker pieces than I want, so this time I think I managed to tone it back. So I call it earthy pastel. And this is the final piece. When I put it together, I felt it was a bit too short and a bit stubby and stuck together at the bottom. So I was a bit disappointed, but I went ahead and put in the pump for the water that I actually took way oversized. So it could shoot water up to 3 meters. So that was a bit of a mistake. And it's out shooting the water outside of the sculpture. So it's giving me the opportunity to go back to the drawing board and design a new piece at the base between the bottom and the middle piece, where I'm going to have protruding flowers that catch the water on each side. So that, unfortunately, I have not had the time to make yet, but I will be working on in the next couple of weeks. I absolutely loved working on this with you two. It was fabulous. Steve kept us on the ball, kept us at our meetings in time. It was fabulous. And it was great to share the process, to have people to be motivated by. And yeah, I really enjoyed my meetings.
I really can't recommend this collaborative project process enough. This has been fabulous. It's a way to connect with other potters. It's a way to share ideas. It helps you out of your comfort zone, try new things, get new ideas. I'm planning to do a lot more collaborative projects.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. So I thought it was absolutely fabulous to meet up once a week from different parts of the world. We are in Germany, in France, in the US, and exchange ideas about something that usually is a very solitary experience, and it's very hands-on in the mud, and still through this medium here we can actually get together and work on a collaborative project. Who would have ever thought? It came out really well, and we went through a lot of challenges all the way to the end. The presentation we really struggled with, but we're all very happy with the way it came out, and I thank you all for going through this process.
Okay, bye now.
Same here. Thank you.